Well, hello and welcome. If we were in church, I'd invite you to gather around me up here in the sanctuary. Wish I could do that. We'll talk about that in a moment. But for now, just gather around your screen. And thanks for being here. Thanks for being here as we talk about Jesus. We talk about this really crazy world we live in. You know, I was thinking as school is coming to an end, some of you are probably missing your friends at school. I know you probably have some friends in the neighborhood. You've got your family. But, it's tough when we can't get together with our friends, isn't it? And I know that because I'm missing some people too. I want to show you who I'm missing. This picture right here, this is a picture of my brother, Dan, and his wife and his kids. His 3 kids, they live up in Minneapolis, in Victoria, right outside of Minneapolis. And my daughter Rebecca loves to play with her cousins, but we haven't seen them for a while. We were supposed to see them in late March, but we had to cancel our trip because of the virus. So we're missing them. And then I have somebody else. This is my sister and her husband, and they would have come up next week because my daughter Rebecca's graduating from high school, or maybe they would have come for Easter. We've talked to them on the phone, but it's not quite the same, is it? And then this is Pastor Jean's sister, and she and her husband Bob. This is Sandy and Bob. They would have come up to visit next weekend for Rebecca's graduation, but we're not going to see them either. So we haven't seen Dan and Teresa and his family, and we haven't seen my sister Kathy and Michael, and we haven't seen Bob and Sandy. And then we have some friends up in Michigan. He's a retired pastor, used to be a pastor, Dale, and his wife Jo, and we were going to visit them in a couple weeks. We had to cancel our trip. We're not going to see them either. It's like nobody. We don't get to see any of our friends. That's hard. And you know what's really hard? Pretending that you're here with me. I wish you were. I really miss. Look, there's nobody up here. Pastor Jean, show them. There's nobody here. It's me and Pastor Jean all alone. And it's not just that we don't have any of you up front here with me. There is nobody in the church right now. Pastor Jean's going to show you. We are all alone. And I love Pastor Jean, but it'd be nice to have some other people here too, like you guys, to have you here, or your moms, your dads, to have maybe your brothers or sisters here, or sometimes some of your grandmas and grandpas who come to this church, and we miss all of you. We miss you so much. It gets very lonely when we're here during the week and when we come to do our worship like this, and the pews are empty. This is hard for us. Just like it's hard for you when you're missing your friends, or maybe your grandparents. Maybe you can't get to see them the way you'd like to. This is really tough, isn't it? It's really hard. Well, in the Bible, there's a story in the Gospel of John. Jesus is with his disciples. It's the night before he's about to be crucified, and Jesus knows what's going to happen. He's going to be crucified, and his disciples are going to be very, 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 very sad. And then he's going to rise again on Easter, and his disciples will be very, very, very excited. And they're going to be pumped, and they're going to say, "This is great, we got Jesus back." But then Jesus is going to go up to heaven. We call that Ascension Day. And you know what? Here's a hint. Ascension Day is this coming Thursday. That's the day we remember that Jesus ascended to heaven, and we're going to talk about that next week. But I want you to think about that. Think about how excited the disciples were that Jesus rose from the dead, and then he goes up to heaven, and he leaves them alone. Kind of like I feel alone sometimes, or maybe you feel alone. But remember, the nights before Jesus died, Jesus talked to his disciples, and they didn't understand yet. But he said, "Listen, I'm going to tell you something, guys. I am going to leave you, but I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm going to send the Holy Spirit to be with you." And you know what? If you want to know more about that, go watch the Sunday school lesson for today. I think Pastor Jean will tell you a little bit more about that. I mean, that's really good news because I feel lonely a lot. Sometimes I feel lonely because of COVID, because of this virus. I can't see the people I really like to spend time with, and I miss all of you. But sometimes we can be lonely for other reasons. Maybe it's just a bad day, just a bad day. Or maybe we realize maybe one of our friends is moving away. Or maybe one of our friends just doesn't like to spend time with us as much anymore. There are a lot of reasons why we feel lonely. But remember that Jesus is always with you. Jesus doesn't abandon us. Jesus sends his Holy Spirit to remind us that he is still here with us, to hold us and to always keep us in his love. So as these very, very difficult days, sometimes very lonely days continue, don't forget, Jesus is with you through the Holy Spirit every day. Every single day. So thank you very much. I think Pastor Gene will be with you next week, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. But just know that we continue to pray for you, and we